flat 5, C major 7, E minor 7, F major 7, A minor 7, B minor 7 flat 5, D minor 6, E7, and then G sharp dim to that A minor. You can just loop that. Again, that's going to sound like Autumn Leaves. Okay, so that 2-5. See, I like that C major 9 a lot. So it's 2-5-1. And I just went to a plain old F major 7 down here. But notice this little voice leading on the second string. And then of course I did B minor 7 flat 5. Y has that G sharp, that leading tone. But I love the blues too, especially if you. And then mix it up. And I keep going to that G sharp. That's the note that really tells the listener 5 chord. Right here. It's a very beautiful theme. So that's the theme. If you don't know, you can play it low. I suggest learning it everywhere, not just where the tab is written. Of course, that's just one suggestion, but again, there's a couple things I'm recommending is learn lots of chords, of course, but really learn the melody. 4, 1, 2, 3. And yeah, there are words for this one, and it's also called A Day in the Life of a Fool. There's a Frank Sinatra version of that too, if you want. The chords are kind of what I want to talk about. As the version from the movie Black Orpheus. And I like that comping pattern a lot. It's very different from short staccato, 1 and 1 and here I'm just demonstrating on the A minor. And I'm doing this 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and. To give it that staccato. And this pattern minor key, A minor, and it goes 1, A minor being the 1, 2, 5, 1. So B minor 7 flat 5 is the 2. And then E7, I kept using this sharp 5 chord. Here's E7, but I like this chord more. And I might use sharp 5 again. It's nice to alter some of these dominant chords. And you might say, hey, I know E7 like this. And that's totally E7. This is E7 as well. I'm just not plucking the A string, so that's why I don't need to hold that B note down. But it also gives me a chance to do this. Add on that sharp 5 color. So again, my general rule is if I have a bass note on the 6th string, I'm not going to be playing the 5th string at all. And vice versa. Of course, if I have a 5th string root, and these are all, by the way, root chord shapes, then I'm not going to be playing the 6th string. So you just have to know, am I on the 5th string root or a 6th string root? These are just for the basic shapes. So here's that A minor, B minor 7 flat 5, and then E7 sharp 5. And to me, that's just a nice basic way of playing this. And just to add some mood to this, I'm adding in the 9 minor 9th chords. This is actually an A minor 9. Add 9, I should be specific. Why is it called an add 9 and just not an A minor 9? Do you guys know? There's no 7. Instead, we're adding in the 2 or the 9. So it can be called A minor add 2. That's another name for it. I just like the name A minor add 9. But there's no 7. That's the difference between an A minor 9 and an A minor add 9 or A minor add 2. So here's A minor. If you're wondering, how do you do that? Just get the octave and go up a whole step from the octave. And then you got the 9. And it's really nice because it creates this beautiful clash. That crunch, they call it. If that's too much of a stretch, don't do it. And here's that E7 sharp 9. So again, so much fun with chords. A minor 7, A minor 6. This is what I'm often doing and what you hear a lot of people do to get this little, I think I talked a little bit about this before. And I might change my comping pattern now for this particular style, getting out of the theme from Black Orpheus mode. So I'm showing you this nice voice leading, this. A minor 7, A minor 6. And that's this, what you just saw me do was this to this. This is often why I actually recommend playing A minor 7 like this. Versus this. It's kind of up to you. I prefer this for that little movement. And again, why is that important? It just creates a little voice leading. It's really nice to catch a little voice leading. And then when you go to B minor 7 flat 5 to E7, this. You get that nice voice leading. It's A minor 9. Why is it A minor 9 and not A minor add 9? Now we do have a 7, the flat 7, which is a G note in here. So here it is. This is a sweet chord, very, very bossa nova. When I think of A minor, I'm always playing this shape. And you have these three open strings. You have the A, you have the G, the flat 7, and you have the C, the flat 3, and then you have the B open, which is the 9, and then the E, which is the 5th. So it sounds like this. So if you're not used to that chord, you're gonna wanna learn it and incorporate it into your vocabulary. Those open strings just sound so nice. I'm actually using all 5 fingers here, by the way, for this chord, because I want to hear all 5 notes. I'm doing this. And notice I'm just pedaling the root here on 1 and 3. And notice also I'm going flat 7, 6, flat 7, 6, same color. So this chord would technically be called an A minor 6 add 9. Or A minor 6, 9 if you just wanted to call it that. That's the sound. But we're going to, for me, it's just how that I'm feeling it now, more in cut time. I call it in 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, versus feeling each pulse, and that's what gives it that faster feel. And then so the other thing that you can do is alternate the bass. Listen to that Toots Steelsman version, and then the 5th, the root, 5th, root fifth if you want to. This is important stuff, kind of more dealing with rhythm and comping. So you actually have B open and then B octave higher, really bringing out that lushness of that 9. So get used to that chord too. I know it's kind of a big stretch, and also it's tricky that you have to keep that open B ringing and then get that B doubled. But with that same concept in mind, I like to hit the A on top. There I'm going, I'm playing everything almost more like I feel like a piano style with both hands. Da, 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 da. I'm not worried about keeping the bass on 1, 3, 1. Really moody, but hey, you can, when I play this song, I always do like a super long intro. If you listen to the Bolla Sette intro, you know, people love just to kind of draw this beautiful A minor quality out. A lot of fun. It's so beautiful, just that alone. And again, that feeling it in 1, 3, 1, 3, dot 1, 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 3, 4. It's the same pattern. Here's a quick trick. Take this almost like a power chord, Smoke on the Water, right? Again, I'm just adding that, now moving it up to get some other colors, the 9 and the 11 there. Because of the melodies, I like to play the 11. So instead of B minor 7 flat 5, I'm actually playing B minor 11 and then E7. There's flat 9. Okay, and let's pretend we repeated that. Now go to D minor 9, G13, G7 sharp 5. Of course, you can just call that a G7 flat 13. Your choice of the naming. That's a 2-5-1 in the key of C now. So now we're modulating, I'm analyzing it too. Now we're modulating from A minor to the relative major, C major, by doing a 2-5-1. 2, 5, and 1. And if you don't want to do just a plain old major 7, if you like the lushness of the 9, do this, C major 9. Okay, major 7, major 9. If you don't know C major 9, start off with C dominant 9. And then from C dominant 9, raise that flat 7 to the major 7. Okay, and that's major 9. Major 9, dominant 9, minor 9, flat your 3. It's important to know those 9 colors. And of course, there's sharp 9, flat 9. Okay, so that 2-5. See, I like that C major 9 a lot. So it's 2, 5, 1. And I just went to a plain old F major 7 down here. But notice this little voice leading on the second string. And then of course I did B minor 7 flat 5, E7 sharp 5 like I demonstrated at the intro, and then A minor with the add 9 for color. And then maybe for the turnaround, either 2-5 or just a plain old purple haze chord, sharp 9. So I'm gonna try it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if you're just getting the shapes without the rhythm. And then this time, right here. That was a 2-5 to C. You go to C sharp diminished 7. And then now we're on D minor 7. Now we get to do it at the 2-5 all over again. But notice I'm using D minor 7 instead of D minor 9. Not a big deal, it's up to you. And now the progression, I always say to my students, now you get to play this song. So this is where the composer is using Autumn Leaves. G7, drift by my window. F major 7. These autumn leaves. E7, of red and gold. So there, if you know Autumn Leaves, now you know that whole 8 bars of the song, because that's the A section of Autumn Leaves. It's nice to, you know, piece these things together. So again, that was Autumn Leaves basically in the key of A minor instead of the fake book key that everybody learns it in E minor, for example. But I'll walk you through that again. D minor 7, G7, C major 7, F major 7, B minor 7 flat 5, E7 with that sharp 5 because I really want you to get used to that chord, A minor add 9, and then a quick 2-5, and then back to the, now we're at measure 17. But I want to walk you through that Autumn Leaves part again, but I'm going to fancy up the chords just a little bit more now. Minor 9, G7 sharp 5, C major 9, F major 7, B minor 7 flat 5, E7 sharp 5, A minor add 9, 2-5. Back to the now the melody. Now the melody in the song actually goes to the 4 chord. The 4 chord of A minor is D minor. So now it's kind of, I would say, modulating to D minor. And how to set that up? 2-5-1. So we got E minor 7 flat 5. Again, there's some theory involved. The theory really helps you memorize it, especially again if you need to play it in other keys. You learn like, oh, now it goes 2-5-1 to the 4. You know, you learn that stuff. Don't, instead of memorizing just letter names, learn the numbers, because then that applies to any key. So now we're modulating in 2-5-1 to the 4, E minor 7 flat 5, A7 sharp 5. Again, some altered dominant chords here. And then D minor. I'm going to show you this nice cliche. You'll hear this on some of those recordings. Yeah, that's kind of tricky to play, as you can see. Maybe you can give it a try, but don't hurt yourself if you're limited on your stretch. That was a D minor, and we're gonna move the 5th chromatically up. So that A sharp or B flat, if you want to call it that. And then the one that hurts here, that's a D minor with a 6th degree here, and then back. And then now we're on the walk down part. So I'm gonna play that in context. Let's see if I can throw that in. D, da, 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 dee. Okay, so notice the thumb is thumping out 1 and 3. And then, of course, you don't have to go to B minor 7 flat 5 here. You might go here. And then we could do the Girlfriend Me Ipanema tritone sub trick. And that's B flat 7 flat 5 and then A minor 6. And of course, now we want to go off into improvisation land with all those beautiful chord inversions. Y has that G sharp, that leading tone. But I love the blues too, especially if you. And then mix it up. And I keep going to that G sharp. That's the note that really tells the listener 5 chord. Right here. It's a new scale. That's A Phrygian sharp 3. Kind of connecting the dots, giving it some momentum. I'll do that again. D minor 7, F major 7, G 7, B minor 7 flat 5, C major 7, E minor 7, F major 7, A minor 7, B minor 7 flat 5, D minor 6, E 7, and then G sharp dim to that A minor. You can just loop that. Again, that's going to sound like Autumn Leaves.